The FAA is warning that the government shutdown will continue to impact flights after an increasing number of air traffic controllers called in sick. A brief ground stop was ordered at LaGuardia for arriving flights this morning, and flights were also delayed at Newark, Philadelphia, Washington, others. It's exactly the kind of thing the CEO of Southwest Air warned could happen.
The thought that you would refer to people and their jobs as non-essential is absurd. Everybody is essential or they shouldn't have a job. But as an example, the FAA is not hiring replacement air traffic controllers or training them. All those are considered non-essential functions, and that is shut down. So that means that where the FAA is already stressed in terms of staffing all of the centers around the country, now they'll be even more stressed. So there is a risk that air traffic will have to be slowed down.
There you go. Boy, was he prescient about that. I'm joined now live by the president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, Paul Rinaldi. You and I watched what the FBI director had to say. I'm guessing that you can understand him being angry and the anxiety and emotional strain he says his agents are feeling.
I feel his anger. I feel the same emotional strain for all our air traffic controllers, safety professionals, whether the ones are at work or the ones that are at home.
Were you in the least bit surprised when you heard what happened at LaGuardia and other airports today?
I was a little surprised, but at the end of the day, I've been saying I don't know what the breaking point is. And if they wake up this morning and they see there's 0 zeros in their bank account one more time, because this was the second paycheck, and they have to make decisions. They don't have the money to put gas in the car. They have to figure out, am I going to live off my credit cards? Well, that's food on the table for my family. And go drive Lyfts, Ubers, wait on tables, do something to bring in an income. So air traffic controllers have a very high medical threshold to show up to work. They have to be fit for duty.
Well, we talked about this yesterday. Yes. You weren't here live, but via satellite. And if you're working a second job, if you're under strain, if you can't feed your family, if you're worried about being able to pay the rent or the mortgage, it can legitimately make you sick. And if they take something, they're not considered fit for duty, right? They can't go in if they're under the influence of something.
You're disqualified. Yeah. And normally they would come in and do some of the staff work, but that's all furlough work. That's furloughed right now, so you have to stay home. So that's what we're seeing happen right now. And it's a tremendous amount of stress on a tremendous amount of people who already have so much stress in their work environment. And they're highly trained, highly educated officials to deal with the stress in their work environment, but not in their home environment of not paying the bills, not putting food on the table for their family.
This week, your organization, along with pilots and flight attendants, wrote a letter to Congress and the president warning of the potential dire impact of the shutdown. Part of that was, in our risk-averse industry, we cannot even calculate the level of risk currently at play, nor predict the point at which the entire system will break. It is unprecedented. Are we even closer today to that breaking point than we were yesterday? Does this start to have a cumulative effect?
Well, it's a very complex airspace system, especially the Northeast corridor. And when you look at where the sick leaves aren't in LaGuardia, Kennedy, Newark, or Philadelphia. They're actually in our big en route centers, the one in Washington and the one in Jacksonville is what we're seeing. And we're talking just a handful of sick leaves is what we're talking about in each area. But we can't open up all the positions. So what we do is combine the airspace, combine the positions, and you can't run the same amount of traffic safely. And we will never compromise safety of the flying public.
Paul Rinaldi, president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. We hope that what we're about to hear from the president is your staff is going to start to get paid, that all the air traffic controllers and all these federal workers are going to start to get paid. We are standing by. Thank you so much for that.